1045 The Team, your home for New York sports, and very, very happy to be joined by Frank Grillo, who, look, man, I am a fan of yours from the Purge movies to watching you whoop up on Captain America, all the great stuff you do. Kingdom is awesome, but I had a chance to check out Boss Level, and I'm going to run the risk of upsetting a man who I know could slap the hell out of me if he wanted to. Is it fair to call it Groundhog Day on Adderall and meth and steroids?
That's the best description so far. Absolutely, man.
It's such a cool movie. Like, I'm a big Groundhog Day fan. I love it. I finally got to check you out. Like, you got Mel Gibson and everything else, and I'm watching it. I'm like, God, if Bill Murray just full went like machine gun crazy on the Groundhog, it's Boss Level.
That's what it is. That's perfect. And you know these time loop movies, it's always a risk. A lot of them don't come out well, and people poo-poo them. And but I think because it's that, it is on cocaine and meth, and it's a nutty movie. You almost don't see it as that. You know what I mean? And there's so much action, and it's funny. So it's that's a great description.
Frank Grillo, listen, and I want to get more into the movie in a second, but I also want to be careful not to spoil anything, because I went into it not really knowing what I was watching and just was blown away and loved it. So I don't want to ruin that for anybody else. But you're a big New York sports fan,
yeah.
Like Giants, Yankees, all that stuff. With the world being the way it is, what would you give to be able to go sit at Yankee Stadium with a beer and a hot dog right now?
Oh man, I have to tell you, it's so funny because I'm watching my brother and sister are still in the city, and so I'm looking at the snow, and I'm like, I'm in LA, and I'm like, I would give my right arm to just be in New York, walking through the snow. So going to Yankee Stadium, that would be like the gift of gifts, and I hope I can do that one day.
But you're in a bunch of fight like movies, like you're either a trainer or a guy, have you ever played a baseball player or a football player in a movie?
I've not. I've not played either of those, and I'd love to, or play a coach. And I grew up playing football from Pop Warner all the way through high school, and wrestled and played lacrosse. So I love team sports. I love that. The camaraderie and all that comes with it, and the discipline. And I think it's what's missing for a lot of kids right now is being able to do that.
Absolutely. Frank Grillo with us right now, 1045 The Team. And Frank, when you watch your movies, you have the reluctant hero like character down to a degree that like it's pretty amazing. If you look at the way the heroes are going to play out on Sunday, who would you play better in the movie? The Brady who's still playing at 43, listen to everybody tell him he's too young, the Pat Mahomes who has to hear he's playing against the greatest. Who's the reluctant hero that Frank Grillo plays in the Super Bowl?
It's Tom Brady, man. Come on, it's Tom Brady. I think everybody, look, Mahomes is going to be a future Super Bowl, multi-Super Bowl ring wearer. I think it's inevitable. He's the new guard. If there's anybody going to come in and kind of, I don't know, you can ever replace Tom Brady, but he's in that shadow. But to see Tom Brady, and I was just saying this before, I grew up hating Tom Brady because when we beat Tom Brady, it was the great. But now as he's 43, he's kind of not that much younger than me anymore. And I'm like, what this guy did with an okay Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is fascinating to me. Like, he just transcends not only football, but the position. And I'm that's my guy. Yeah, he's my guy now. And Gronk is in the movie too. So
yeah, I saw that. I didn't even realize it at first.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to give too much away, but he pops up, and you're like, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the moment where you realize it's him, my daughter and I were watching it. She's a teen, so it's okay. Don't. I wasn't. Again, careful with little kids watching this one, but it's definitely a cool movie. But I looked up, I'm like, that's Gronk. She's like, Dad, I get it. Stop hitting me. The cast in Boss Level is insane. But I do want to go. The reason that you're okay with Brady is you're a Giants fan, because we're in Jets country too, and Jets fan is never going to be okay with Brady.
No, I'm okay with him, and I'm just as a sports fan, I'm fascinated by him. I'm fascinated by what's in his brain, what he's capable of doing and executing on the intellectual level of the game.
Would you be willing to eat avocado ice cream to win a Super Bowl?
Never.
So you're still New York. That's what's up right there. All right. So I want to the Boss Level movie. How does that even come together? Where you get Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts? I'm a huge Will Sasso fan.
Yeah, I mean, look, Joe and I were trying to make this movie for several years. We started off at Sony and we did a test screening for it, and it didn't come together. Then we started our own company, and we were able to get the financing with him directing and as the writer and me playing Roy. But we needed to get some other heavyweights in there. You know, that's what the financing business is all about. And because of Carnahan, I think mostly because of who Joe is and what he's done. From Narc, you know, to Smoking Aces to The Gray. You know, we went out to Mel. We talked to Mel for a long time, Naomi. And Joe pretty much got everybody he wanted because, you know, working for Joe Carnahan it's the top of the food chain. And I think everybody was real happy with what they did.
Is there a chance that we see Roy again, or is when he wins the Boss Level, it's over?
Well, no, I think there is this. We left it that way. You know, you always, if you can, especially in the action genre, if there can be more of them, you want to leave it open. But now obviously it's not theatrical. It's on Hulu, which we're very excited about, March 5th. And hopefully, if it does well for them, we could talk to them about you know, Boss Level 2.
I love it. All right, so because you're able to, you know, pull the Groundhog Day, go back, fix things in Boss Level. What's a sporting event that if you could fix it, you'd go back in time and fix it? Something that's haunted you as a fan.
Well, that's a great question.
I had to have one. I had to have one good one at least.
Jesus, what would that be? I got to think about it. I'd have to think.
See, it's the Red Sox, you know, with the comeback over the Yankees.
Right.
So all right. Wait. So we're together on that one.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Actually, I was thinking, was it the Reds? Then I was thinking, that's right. Of course, it's the Red Sox. What was the game? Was it the Mets? What team? The guy missed the ball at first base. And
Buckner, the Red Sox and the Mets.
That was it.
You go in to like just kind of slide the glove over for Buckner for him.
Yeah.
Frank, I'm telling you, man, I love Boss Level. I thought it was a really, really great movie. Caught me off guard completely. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but it is, if you like that kind of punch in the face, fun action movie, it's the way to live. And what's next for you? What are you working on next? Joe
and I just finished a movie called Cop Shop. It's me and Gerard Butler, that Joe directed. I got a bunch of movies coming out, and you know, we got a bunch of movies lined up, but because of COVID, we're just trying to see timing-wise which lands first.
All right, Frank Grillo, man, 104.5 The Team. Upstate New York loves you, man. Love the movie, and I'm telling anybody who's listening, March 5th on Hulu, you got to watch it.
I love it, man. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, brother.